So Siri just got a massive glow up. So let's talk about it. So I was invited to WWDC this year, and let me tell you, it was a crazy event. There were a whole bunch of features that were announced that is coming to the Apple lineup this year. We have new child accounts, additional child restrictions and stuff, new optimizations that are coming to the Apple platform, stuff like CPU scheduling for older devices, and with my own testing on the iOS 27 developer beta, AirDrop has been insanely fast. Like, for some reason, it's so much faster on iOS 27. Like, here's a comparison. I don't know what they did, it's crazy. But the big headliner this year, and this was what they spent most of their time talking about, it was Siri AI and Apple Intelligence in general. So we're gonna talk about that. A thing to note, Siri AI is in beta right now, so whatever I'm saying could change. But I've been testing the iOS 27 developer beta, and I have to say, Siri AI is bloody impressive. So here's what to expect from it. So Siri is now smarter than before. Yay! It feels more like an assistant that you can just speak to naturally, and it gives you more natural answers. And the capabilities of it is astounding. I've asked Siri to do some pretty ridiculous tasks, like find the height of the Marina Bay Sands and take that number and divide it by 23, and whatever the final answer is, set a timer for that number. So the answer should be 9 minutes. Let's see what I get.
I set a timer for 9 minutes.
Well, we got the timer for 9 minutes, and they even named it Marina Bay Sands, so that's pretty crazy. So yeah, Siri really just does it now. I've already used Siri AI for a bunch of things now in like my daily life. So here are some noteworthy cases that I've used it for. Number 1, fake news. So I almost always get TikToks or family messages that have just crazy news, like stuff that you wouldn't believe. And usually I'll take this stuff and run it through like a reverse search engine or just like Google it, and then I'll find out it's fake. Well, for the past few days I've been running a beta, I've mostly seen myself just long pressing and asking Siri, is this real? I almost immediately get an answer of if it's real or if it's not. And it just saves me so much time. Number 2, reminders and alarm. This is already something I used with the previous Siri, but now it feels like more of an assistant that I can just chain commands into. And memory. So I'm a pretty forgetful person. I almost always forget people's names immediately, and also forget like things that I do in the moment because, you know, I brain rot or something. Can you find me the picture of the autumn leaves that I took in America? I can't remember where I took it, but it was like at a park or something.
I found a couple of photos from October 2025 at Jean Coulon Memorial Beach Park in Renton, Washington that match your description.
And it is true. I did take this picture at Renton, Washington, and it found the picture, the exact picture that I wanted. Set 5 alarms for tomorrow. Your device, be it the iPhone or the iPad, will need to spend some time indexing. What is that? So your iPhone will actually go through all the files and data on your phone and sort it out so that Siri AI can scout it faster using this system called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. And unlike other AI models like ChatGPT, which builds a personality based on the database that it has in the cloud, this indexing is all done on device, which is why it takes a while because it's using the onboard processor. And it's also why they recommend you to charge your phone over longer periods so that the indexing can happen while it's charging. Cool. We also got some other features with Apple Intelligence. This is not Siri AI, but Apple Intelligence. And they are spatial reframe, probably one of the biggest features that everyone's freaking out over. It uses Apple's Depth Pro model to get that spatial scene that we're familiar with, and it allows you to reframe exactly where you want the picture to be. And after which it uses Apple's new image generation model, which we will get into, to fill the gaps that was created. More so, it's filling in the gaps that the Depth Pro model couldn't get. Image cleanup, pretty self-explanatory. We did have cleanup before, but this time instead of on device, it's using Apple's new image generation model in the cloud. Expand, it expands the image. Cool. Describe a shortcut and describe an extension. This feature I actually got to try out at WWDC myself, and in my opinion, it's basically just vibe coding the extensions and shortcuts you exactly want, and it's amazing. Fun fact, you can actually vibe code the thing on iOS 27 and then share it to your friends on iOS 26 and below. Pretty cool. So I've really been doing that actually. It's a cool use of AI coding. Smart grouping of tabs. It groups tabs together smartly. Auto naming of files. This I also got to try at WWDC, and I like it a lot. It uses the context of the files in the folder that it's in, and then it will suggest a couple of names that you should name the new file. So it's really great for standardizing names. In particular, receipts. Great for accounting. Now, I want to address something. Is Siri AI or the new Apple Intelligence models Gemini? No. Well, not really. Recently, I posted a TikTok stress testing Siri AI, and most of the comments in there were talking about how these are just Gemini models, and then there were other people saying it's not Gemini models. So I went to do some digging, and let me explain. So Apple has a bunch of new AI models, well, 5 to be exact, and they are what they call the Apple Foundation models, or AFM. Now, these 5 new models are the AFM3 Core and the Core Advanced, which are both models that run on device. And the 3 other models are the AFM3 Cloud, AFM3 Cloud Image, and AFM3 Cloud Pro. Crazy naming. So Apple made it really clear that these models do not use the Gemini app or Google Assistant or Google Search. These first 4 models are actually custom built entirely by Apple for Apple Silicon, but they were refined using outputs from the latest Gemini models to make them smarter. And specifically for the AFM3 Cloud Pro, the biggest model, Apple worked with Google and Nvidia to extend their private cloud compute onto Google's cloud using Nvidia GPUs, but locked down with Apple's privacy, which according to Apple, neither they nor Google can see our data. But back to the question, is it Gemini or not? My personal opinion is I don't care. As long as it works and Apple promises the same privacy that we'll get since their announcement, I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's Gemini or not. And I'm pretty sure 98% of the users when these updates roll out wouldn't care either. If anything, knowing that these custom models from Apple are refined by Gemini makes me a little bit happier, because I've been a daily Gemini user since it was called Bard, and I know how powerful these Gemini models can be. But if you really want a definite answer of if it's Gemini or not, no, it's not. It's just like how you can't call a Rolls Royce a BMW just because it has some BMW parts in it. I guess that makes sense. Alright, now I want to talk about Apple's approach to AI. I like how everything feels integrated to the OS and not just like someone just slapping AI for AI's sake. Like, look at this weighing scale I saw at the supermarket. Like, why does it have AI? I have no idea why they call it AI or what it can do better with AI, if it's even AI to begin with. And yeah, I'm glad that the new features coming to Apple Intelligence aren't just like an afterthought. The new features are something that people are getting excited over. Also, a huge thing that I feel like is not getting praised enough is the whole privacy thing. Because as of now, if you want privacy in like an AI or an LLM, because other than running your own LLM on your own machine like Gemma 4, you're kind of subjected to the terms of usage for like data that you're providing the AI companies. And if you use OpenAI for an example, it clearly states that they train their models off our data, which is opt-in by default. And if you opt out, only new conversations past that opt-out period are not trained on. And now you realize why ChatGPT can remain free for the past few years. Apple's taking the other approach where none of the conversations are being stored or used in the servers, and also hence why you need to spend the time indexing your entire device. But it's pretty cool that Apple is taking the initiative to be like basically the only one caring about privacy in this whole LLM race. And this is especially true when the AI is going through my entire text history and photos and calendar and searches. Oh god. So yeah, those were my thoughts on the new Siri AI and also all the new iOS 27 features. See you next time. Let me know if you like this video. I'm in my Apple era. I got to meet iJustine. That was pretty cool. Also Marquez. Shout out Marquez. Also John Turners. That was pretty cool.